Duck is very proud of being Great Western. He talks endlessly about it. He works hard too and makes everything go like clockwork. It was a splendid day. The cars and coaches behaved well. The passengers even stopped grumbling. But the engines didn't like having to bustle about.
There are two ways of doing things, the Great Western way or the wrong way. I'm Great Western and...
Don't we know it?
The engines were glad when a visitor came. He purred smoothly towards them. Sir Topham had introduced him. Here is Diesel. I have agreed to give him a try. He needs to learn. Please teach him, Duck.
Good morning. Pleased to meet you, Duck. I say, is that James and Henry and Gordon too? I am delighted to meet such famous engines.
The silly engines were flattered.
He has very good manners.
We are pleased to have him in our yard.
Duck had his doubts.
Come on, Jack Black.
Diesel purred after him.
You're worthy, Topham.
Sir Topham had to, you.
Ordered Duck. Diesel looked hurt.
You're worthy, Sir Topham had things I need to learn. He is mistaken. We Diesels don't need to learn. We know everything. We come to a yard and improve it. We are revolutionary.
Oh, if you're Revo-thing-a-gummy, perhaps you would collect my cars while I fetch Gordon's coaches.
Diesel, delighted to show off, purred away. When Duck returned, Diesel was trying to take some cars from a siding. They were old and empty. They had not been touched for a long time. Diesel found them hard to move. Pull! Push! Backwards! Forwards! The cars groaned.
Can't we won't?
Duck watched with interest. Diesel lost patience. He roared and gave a great heave. The cars scurried forward. They screamed.
Can't we won't?
Some of their brakes snapped, and the gear jammed in the sleepers.
Ho ho ho!
chuckled Duck. Diesel recovered and tried to push the cars back, but they wouldn't move. Duck ran quietly around to collect the other cars.
Thank you for arranging these, Diesel. I must go now.
Don't you want this lot?
No, thank you.
Diesel gulped.
And I've taken all this trouble. Why didn't you tell me?
You never asked me. Besides, you were having such fun being whatever it was you said. Goodbye.
Diesel had to help the workmen clear the mess. He hated it. All the cars were laughing and singing at him. Growled Diesel, scuttled away to sulk in the shed. Next morning, he was still sulking. The freight cars would not stop singing rudely at him. Duck was horrified.
Shut up, you little rascals! I'm sorry our cars were rude to you, Diesel.
Diesel was still furious.
It's all your fault. You made them laugh at me.
Nonsense. Duck would never do that. We engines have our differences, but we never talk about them to the cars. That would be
Disgraceful.
Disgusting!
despicable.
Diesel hated Duck. He wanted him to be sent away, so he made a plan. He was going to tell lies about Duck. Next day, he spoke to the cars.
I see you like jokes. You made a good joke about me yesterday. I laughed and laughed. Duck told me one about Gordon. I'll whisper it. Don't tell Gordon I told you.
And he sniggered away.
Gordon will be cross with Duck when he knows. Let's tell him and get back at Duck for bumping us.
They laughed rudely at the engines as they went by. Soon, Gordon, Henry, and James found out why.
Disgraceful.
Disgusting!
Despicable. We cannot allow it.
They consulted together.
Yeah.
Yes! He did it to us,
to
we'll do it
us.
to him and see
We'll
how
do
he
it to
likes
him
it.
and see how
See
he
how he
likes it.
likes it.
Duck was tired out. The cars had been cheeky and troublesome. He wanted to rest in a shed. The three engines barred his way.
Keep out!
Stop fooling, you three. I'm tired.
So
are we.
We're
We're tired of you.
We like
We like
Diesel.
Diesel and
We don't like
don't
you.
like
You
you.
tell
tales
about
about
us
us
to
to
the
cars.
cars.
I don't.
You
do.
I don't.
You do.
Sir Topham Hatt came to stop the noise.
Duck called me a galloping sausage.
Rusty red scrap iron.
I'm old square wheels.
Well, Duck? Duck considered.
I'd only wish, sir, that I thought of those names myself, if the dome fits.
He
He
made
made cars laugh at us.
Sir Topham had recovered. He'd been trying not to laugh himself. Did you, Duck?
Oh, certainly not, sir. No steam engine would be as mean as that.
Diesel looked up. Diesel, you heard what Duck said.
I can't understand it, sir. To think of the duck of all engines. I am dreadfully grieved, sir, but no, nothing.
I see, said Sir Topham Hatt. Diesel squirmed and hoped he didn't. I'm sorry, Duck, but you must go to Edward Station for a while. I know he will be glad to see you.
As you wish, sir.
Duck trundled sadly away, while Diesel smirked with triumph. Duck the Great Western engine puffed sadly to Edward Station.
It's not fair!
He complained.
Diesel has been telling lies about me and made Sir Topham Hatt and all the engines think I'm horrid.
Edward smiled. I know you aren't, and so does Sir Topham Hatt. You wait and see. Why don't you help me with these cars? Duck felt happier with Edward and set to work at once. The cars were silly, heavy, and noisy. The two engines had to work hard, pushing and pulling all afternoon. At last they reached the top of the hill.
Goodbye!
Whistled Duck, rolled gently over the crossing to the other barn. Duck liked coasting down the hill, running easy with the wind whistling past. Suddenly, it was a conductor's warning whistle.
Hurrah! Hurrah! Hurrah!
Half the cars
We're broken away! Broken away! Chase them, bumpkin! Throw them off the rails!
They yelled. Hurry, Duck, hurry, cried the driver. They raced to Edward Station, but the cars were catching up. As fast as we can, and they'll catch us gradually. Duck's driver was gaining control. Another clear mile and we'll do it. Oh, glory! Look at that! James was just pulling out on their line from the station ahead. Any minute there could be a crash. It's up to you now, Duck, cried the driver. Duck put every ounce of weight and steam against the cars.
It's too late!
Duck groaned and shut his eyes. He peered into a siding where a barber had set up shop. He was shaving a customer. The silly cars had knocked their conductor off his van and left him far behind after he had whistled a warning. But the cars didn't care. They were feeling very pleased with themselves.
Beg pardon, sir. Excuse my intrusion.
No, I won't. You frightened my customers. I'll teach you.
He lathered Duck's face all over. Poor Duck. Thomas was helping to pull the cars away when Sir Topham had arrived.
I do not like engines popping through my balls. They disturb my custom.
I appreciate your feelings, but you must know that this engine and his crew have prevented a serious accident. It was a very close, shave,
Oh, excuse me.
said the bubber. He filled a basin of water to wash Duck's face.
I'm sorry. I do not know you were being a brave engine.
That's all right, sir. I didn't know that either.
You were very brave indeed, said Sir Topham Hatt. I'm proud of you. Sir Topham Hatt watched the rescue operation. Then he had more news for Duck. And when you are properly washed and mended, you are coming home.
Home, sir? Do you mean the yard?
Of course.
But sir, they don't like me. They like Diesel.
Not now. I never believed Diesel, so I've sent him packing. The engines are sorry and want you back. A few days later, when he came home, There was a really rousing welcome from Duck the Great Western Engine.
Ah, it's good to be back.
Have to fade. Don't you see that there is vengeance in my